All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Arakakodash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of James Great Millstone, and a sincere Shalom to Yakin, bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. And as you see here, it says beef tenderloin, man. Now, I'm gonna just play the video, and I'm gonna go in through the spirit, Lord willing to be edifying. Hey, now, as you see what you see, it says beef tenderloin. So for the purpose of this lesson, we're going to call it quote unquote beef tenderloin. Now, whether it is, and you see what it looks like, or whether it isn't, and we understand that E is diabolical, regardless of what that packaging states that it is, man, right? And the scriptures tell us this in the book of Ezekiel, the 4th chapter. It's Ezekiel 4:13. It says, "And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them." Right? And we understand that E has no problem with going to extreme lengths to feed the public anything, right? Even this. We know when you look at, your fast food places, that what you're eating isn't what you're eating, man. I'm going to keep it as salty as possible through the spirit, but if you understand, you understand. Right? Hey, the Apostle Gabar, and the rest of the apostles have spoken about the movie Soylent Green, man. And if you don't know what it is, just look it up. This is how E gets down, man. All these quote unquote missing children, missing people, he'll find the usage for them. Hey, did not studies come out and brothers do videos on the fact that E is, it'll take how can I say it without without it being too graphic, yet still hitting the point. It'll take the remains or the people, I'll say, and turn them into fertilizer, man. And they spray the crops with this thing, or with that chemical composition, right? So how much more feeding you straight what it is? How much more, man? Because the scriptures tell you that everything is messed up in this place, right? The earth is defiled, as the scripture says. Matter of fact, I'll grab it here, right? Because what E has done is, instead of keeping something like something important that the scriptures back as like the land Sabbath, for example, right? Which a land Sabbath allows the field to do what? To actually heal from producing that increase. Right? Matter of fact. Right? It allows the field to heal itself from yielding her fruit. Right? Now, in the case of meat, we understand that a lot of things are lab grown. Here it is. He tells you the protein that you should be eating, it should be made from insects. The milk that you drink should be coming from roaches. So forth and so on, man. Matter of fact, this is coming from the book of Sirach. 39th chapter. In the 25th verse, and it reads, I'm sorry, 24. It says, "As his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. For the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. The principal thing for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. All these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners they are turned to evil." Right? And what you seen in that video, hey, that could definitely be, evil there. And you seen there was only 2 left. right? It was only 2 left. You had butchers in the comments speaking about what it could have been, I'll say allegedly, right? But we know that doesn't surprise us, right? That's not something that blows our mind, man. Hey, you people eating kids meals, Mickey D's. How is it that McDonald's never runs out of chicken nuggets, man? They never run out of Happy Meals and burgers, right? Where's all these cows coming from? Meanwhile, euthanize livestock, and do whatever with those remains, man. This is just another reason as to why we have to get out of here, right? Because the food that we're eating is killing us. Here it is. The Lord made the medicines out of the earth. Hey, well, food is supposed to be the first defense of medicine. What you eat is actually supposed to heal you. Matter of fact, let's grab it. This Sirach 38:4, it reads, "The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them." Right? So your first line of defense, being your what do you call it? Lord, will it come back to me? Slack, yeah. Your immune system, slack. Call Allah Yabashim. It's activated and strengthened by the foods you eat. By the herbs that you digest. By the balance of diet. Your body is able to do what? To ultimately withstand whatever illness and or sickness that comes across it, man. But here in this society, hey, the food you eat isn't giving you the proper nutrients. It's really making you sicker. Meat is glued together. Hey, vegetables are plastic. So is the rice. The water is what? Is acidic. It's lacking its proper nutrients within it. Hey, even the herbs and the vitamins and what do you call it? The tinctures that we use, they're not even in their full strength because the plants that they're derived from aren't in their full strength. So here, as the scripture says, it's speaking about it's of the Lord's mercies that we're not consumed, out of the book of Lamentation, man. Because it is. The food we're eating is really supposed to be offing us, man. But it's of the mercy of Yahweh Bashim al-Shai that we're still able to fight. Because you don't really know what you're eating, man. Even something that says organic. There isn't supposed to be anything in a grocery store that says organic. It's all supposed to be that way, right? It's Proverbs 15:17. And this is why the apostles are so keen on diet and exercise in the spirit right now too. Because the quality of the food is getting worse and worse, right? It says, "Better is a dinner of herbs where love is than a stalled ox and hatred therewith." Now that's word, when you go into stalled, it means fattened, right? It says, "Better is a dinner of herbs where love is," because we understand that the diet in which we're eating is supposed to be balanced. If you're eating, a bunch of meat and not getting certain herbs or vegetables in you, hey, you're off balance, man. Your body will become more acidic, Now, the balance is different for every man, every brother, but there's a pattern of those who eat unhealthy versus those who are eating, to the best of their ability, man. That's why you see the rest of America is just fat. Because they're what? They're eating junk food. They're eating processed food. They're not eating fruits and vegetables. The meat that they're eating is highly processed, right? So it reflects in their physical features, right? You have majority of America on meds, or what you would call morbidly obese, not able to run, joints and ligaments all messed up because of diet. Diet is a crucial part of our walk as Hebrew Israelites, man. We don't come from a line of gluttonous individuals. We come from a line of balance. Come from a line of purity. But here in this society, Hey, that's why you always see pork on sale, man. Here it is. You can get 3 pounds of bacon for pennies to the dollar. Go out and try to buy a pack of lamb chops. A rack of them, man. You spending minimum $25. Minimum. Right? This Psalms 44 and 22, and it says, "Yea, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter." Because ultimately, when you go into the secret counsel of the wicked, they've conspired with all of these different plans in order to destroy the people. It's not just mentally, it's not just spiritually, it's physically as well. The physical is a huge part of it. Because your vessel being tainted, it makes it hard for the rest of that machine to navigate, man, to work. Time used against you. So what does that do? That puts you in a lazier state. That puts you in a more what is it called when you're basically not profitable. Lord will, the word will come back to me. But when you're not functioning properly, man, you get lazy. You start to make excuses. Well, I'm tired, I can't go work out. I'm tired, I can't go to the gym. The cheapest foods are the most unhealthy foods. You can buy a bag of chips at any corner store and spend $1 and some change. Try to go out and buy a guava. What do they call it? A black watermelon. A black diamond watermelon. It's going to run you some money. And on top of that, that's not going to even be seeded. Right? Why are fruits more expensive than chips? Why is candy less expensive than vegetables? White rice is very affordable. Try to go buy wild rice. Now you racking up your bill, man. But this just goes to show you, we have to get out of here, man. Because more and more atrocities are being done throughout the earth, man. And this is also leaning people towards cannibalism. Because you're already used to that flesh. That's why when that engineered famine comes, it's going to be a switch in wicked individuals' mind to just eat what they're used to. Eat what they're used to smelling. So when the chemicals and the scents come off of their children, they just gonna bug out, man. They're just gonna bug out. This is why it's imperative for us to stay in the spirit and to stay watching, man. And make sure you're praying before you eat. Pray over your food. Because whatever hasn't been cleansed, the Lord can do so. But I just want to go in on that quick video. Because when I seen it, it's vexing. Knowing that you don't really know where your food comes from. But hey, the Lord is He's gonna save us from this hell, man. And in due time, He's gonna overthrow the hands of the wicked, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna close off with this precept here in the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, the 10th chapter. As Sirach 10:3, it says, "An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited." Right? The unwise king. Here it is. And if bettered the condition of life for everyone, majority of the people of the earth wouldn't be complaining. He would be in rulership, quote unquote, for longer, man. But no, he's greedy. He's insatiable. Right? As the scriptures say, he cannot have enough. Covet fills by violence. Oppress a man in his heritage. Oppress a man in his heritage. Right? So in doing so, what happens? The people are angry. The people are sick. And he doesn't want a nation of healthy individuals. So what does he do? He continues to feed you garbage, poison, man. And ultimately that does what? It kills you. And that's what he wants. He wants a nation of unhealthy, or he wants a nation of sick individuals, because it also does what? It also funnels, money into his pharmakia. So the devil is crafty, man. The scriptures say, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. So ultimately, the schemes in which Esau is created in order to control, he's doing the right thing according to what wickedness is supposed to be, man. Right? So that's the point, A Lord willing, this lesson, matter of fact, it's like, I'm going to read 4 and then I'm going to close out. It says, the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. And ultimately, that's the nation of Israel, in the kingdom to come under Yahweh Shai, King David, the 12, and the rest of the elect, right? And in that world, guess what? In the world to come soon, it's not going to be sicknesses that we're suffering from. It's not going to be time that we're missing out on. You're not going to be able to eat people, man. This clearly breaks the Levitical law of what's holy and what's profane. Chickens don't have nuggets. Neither do they have tenders. They have breasts. Right? So that's the point. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying unto the body. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Harakah HaKodash. A double honors unto the apostles and elders of JMS Great Millstone, and a sincere shalom to Yakim, bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. Shalom.